giving us this opportunity and giving us this blessing of this water to change lives. Because the best way to serve God is to serve man. And the best way to do that is through this water, because it's really working. Second of all, I'd like to thank Mr. Ashiro for his passion and his dream to share the compassion of this water throughout the world to everybody, to benefit them in their health and bring them closer to one another. Second of all, Mr. Mori, appreciate all the love and gratitude you have given us for me and my father for coming out here. All the staff members, Bernard, Leilani, all you guys, I thank you very much, bless you. And of course, everybody else. You guys are like my family. And being here in the Philippines, let me tell you, the Philippine culture is just like our culture back home, I'm Middle Eastern. The family, the unity, the respect, the love that I have been shown since I've been here, I thank you all. The Philippines is like my home. Again, I cannot wait to come back. And of course, because the reason why I like to say that is here in Enagic, whether you're a top leader like J.D. Pacifico or Cynthia Brigante, it doesn't really matter. Whether you're coming in as a guest or a top leader, we treat every one of us like we're all family. Each and every one is all equals. Because the main purpose is to help one another spread the water throughout the world to benefit mankind and bring them closer to true ultimate health. And of course, all my new friends that I've met in the Philippines, I love you all and thank you very much. Now, 5 years ago, how I basically got introduced to Kangen Water is I had an illness that I was dying from called valley fever. Now, really quickly, anyone here know what valley fever is? If you don't know what valley fever is, raise up your hand. Half the room. Valley fever basically is when the Native American Indians used to live in California back in the day, when they used to use the restroom, they used to bury their stool in the ground in the hole. Well, over the years, as the earth's shaking, the ground's shaking, the wind blowing up that dust, that fungus and that mold becomes airborne. Okay, so if you're living in that environment, you can breathe it in. And I was living in that environment at the time 5 years ago, living in an area where it was very common. I breathed it in, and I'm an athlete. I never really get sick. I'm always feeling great, always in the gym and living and loving life. Well, I got sick and I contracted valley fever. Valley fever, when you breathe in that fungus, it attaches onto your lung and your spine. And it breaks down your immune system. And if your immune system is weak, then it's hard for your body to fight off illnesses. And especially when your body is over-acidic, like many of us are, because of course you cannot control what you're breathing, 80% of what you're eating, 99% of what you're drinking, and of course of stress, all these factors. So my body was over-acidic, and this valley fever was running rampant in my body. I had lost about 45 pounds. So right now I'm like 185, so imagine me 45 pounds lighter. I was coughing every 30 seconds, like I was a heavy smoker, every 30 seconds coughing violently, regurgitations of foods, vomiting, night sweats, loss of appetite, weight, fatigue. I had no social life, and at the age of 28, 27, that did not look good for me, not to have a social life, being bedridden at home. So my life was miserable. So when my father got introduced to this product, and it had dropped his cholesterol 100 points within 8 weeks, helped my grandfather with his diabetes, my grandmother with her arthritis, my mother with her chronic bronchitis, my son with his asthma, I had a hope that it would help me, but I didn't really necessarily believe because I was already a water drinker. So I said, what books do you have written by doctors that can give this some type of credibility of what you're telling me about? So he gives me books like J.D. was explaining by these doctors, Alkalize or Die with a pH Miracle, where I could understand the benefits of alkalinity and acidity and the pros and cons. And as I was reading these books, I was fascinated to understand that oxidation, which comes from acidity, is the breakdown of the human body. So that's why this illness was running rampant in my body. Well, after 3.5 weeks of drinking this water, the water allowed my body, because you have to understand something, the water does not treat, diagnose, or cure anything. It simply allows the human body to do what it does best, and that's naturally heal itself. So as my body was able to receive this water, since it was over-acidic, the water was able to allow my body to be able to heal itself in a more quicker manner than before, and my illness was gone in 1 month. In 1 month, I had my life back. I thank you. Don't make me think of what. And I was so amazed, because 2 years I had this illness. 2 years it was affecting my life. And after 1 month, I had to educate myself. That's the type of person I'm. I said, why did this water do what it did? So I went to school. I went to National College of Exercise Professionals, where I achieved my holistic nutrition license and my naturopathic physical training license, and then immediately got hired at LA Fitness, a very huge popular gym in the States, where I actually walked right into the position of